Hello everyone, I'm going to make a video. I'm going to continue on in the series. I talked about the spider, I talked about the ant, I'm going to talk about the conies, and I'm going to talk about the locusts. That's referred to in Proverbs 30:24 through 28 in the King James Version of the Bible, and it says, "There be four things which are little upon the earth, but they are exceeding wise. The ants are a people not strong, yet they prepare their meat in the summer. The conies are but a feeble folk, yet they make their houses in the rocks. The locusts have no king, yet go they forth all of them by bands. The spider take hold with her hands and is in king's palaces." And that's what we talked about last time, was about that. The coney is it kind of maybe the closest thing we got over here is maybe like a rabbit or something, but it's not a rabbit. It's a small, thick-set mammal. The well-furred, rotund animals with short tails. And it says in Proverbs 30:26 specifically about the coney, "The conies are but a feeble folk, yet they make their houses in the rocks." Conscious of their own natural defenselessness, the conies resort to burrows in the rocks and are secure from their enemies. And I think that we could gather a lesson from these feeble folk. We're the same. We're exposed to peril, and we're weak. Without God, we are. And so it would be wise to seek shelter. That is their defense. They don't have a arsenal. They don't have something. They don't fight back so much as they just hide out. The best security is just an immutable God, where His promises stand like giant walls of rock. They hide it. The conies hide in this rock, hid from the enemy, and that's what we have to do. He can hide us in the palm of His hand. It would be well if we could hide within the safety of His glory, and it guarantees the safety of all of them, all of those who put their trust in Him. Blessed be the name of the Lord. That's what I've tried to do along the way. Is I've not been a fighter. He said, when a man's ways please the Lord, He maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. I just tried to hide in the shelter of the Lord, like David did at Abdullah, safe from the cruelty of the enemy. I have now I found the blessedness of the man who puts his trust in the Lord. For a long time ago, when Satan was after me, I fled to the cleft of the rock, that rock called Jesus Christ, and His spear-driven side. I found a resting place. My heart ran to Him, and it still runs to Him when I get in trouble. And He consoles me. He comforts me. He'll help me, and He'll help you. No king in his safety of his fortress is more secure than a coney in his rocky burrow. The master of 10,000 chariots is not a bit better protected than the little dweller in the mountain's cliff. In Jesus, the weak are strong and the defenseless are safe. They could not be more strong even if they were giants, or more safe unless they had been in heaven. Faith gives to men on earth the protection of the God of heaven more than they could need or wish for. The conies, they can't build a castle, but they take advantage of what's already there. I can't make myself a refuge, but Jesus has provided it. His Father has given it. His Spirit has revealed it. And lo, I enter it over and over, and I'm safe from the foe. Um, the this Coney, it inhabits the mountain gorges and rocky districts of Arabia and the Holy Land. The Conies are but a feeble folk, yet they make their houses in rock. They're wise. Uh, I'm amazed at the things that God makes like these. They're born with that natural defense built in with them. Nobody has to teach them to run into the rocks. Nobody has to teach a bird to fly south in the winter. Nobody has to teach a geese to fly in a V formation when they fly. They don't go to school, and it's so we can learn so much from them. Um, the coney, its feet's not made for digging. It couldn't dig. Um, it couldn't dig down deep enough to have a protection. So it just has to uh, have its safety in the rocks. Its defense. I want to hide my soul in the cleft of the rock, and the safety of Jesus under the shadow of His wings. He won't let anybody get to me. I think about like if somebody had a bulldog or some kind of vicious dog on the lease. If they didn't let go of it, I'd be safe. But the moment they let go of that vicious animal, I'd be in trouble. And that's the way Jesus is. He's got the enemy at bay. The enemy can't come near us without him seeing it, and he's protecting us. These four things, the ant, the spider, the coney, and then we're going to talk about the locust later. It's just marvelous in my eyes. It's amazing in my eyes how God protects him. Don't you know He can protect us too? I remember when I was growing up, I didn't like to fight. My brother didn't seem like he minded. And he told me, he said, Dale, if you go past those bullies and they whoop up on your head, he said, whenever you leave them, if you got to cry, said, you just come home and cry. And then you go back, and if you see the bully again, you hold your head up and just walk past him. There are bullies out here in this world. There's Satan is a big bully, and he will eat you alive if God don't have His hand holding him back. Bullies are a problem everywhere. They're bullies in school. There's bullies everywhere. But most of the time, those bullies, they get the table turned on them. They get a taste of their own medicine. I remember my dad, I think I've told you this story before, but my dad, he was like a 120-pound weakling. I've seen pictures of my mother carrying him in her arms, and she was a small woman. And he was at the YMCA in Huntsville, 8th or 9th Avenue. I can't remember which one it was on. And the bully was there. And he said the bully was going to do harm to him. And he came up at him, and my dad said, all I wanted to do was just stick up my hand, to block the blow. And somehow or another, his finger went in the bully's eye. And the bully couldn't continue on to fight, and he never bothered him anymore. That's the way the bullies are a lot of times, if you can call their bluff. I remember when we was in school, we'd draw a line, they'd draw a line and say, don't step over this line, and we're going to go at it. And neither one wanted to step over the line. Both of them was chicken. And you step over the line, you step over the line on like that. And I knew a boy, and there was a bully at our school, and this boy wasn't particularly big either. And the boy was doing his, lead up to the fight deal. I'm going to tear your head off. I'm on a whatever. I'm on this. And while he was doing his little introductions, his little boy just hauled off and just knocked him winding. And the bully never bothered him again. Now, this bully we're talking about, Satan, the only way you're going to get him off of you is to let God step in between you and him. You're no match for him. He's been around for centuries. He knows all the wiles. He knows what to catch you with. But let's just be like the little Coney, the little defenseless Coney, and just depend on God to hide us in the shelter of his rocks. I hope you got something out of this today. I've been given my phone number. It's 256-508-4410. If you need me, I might not get to call you back right away. It may take me a little while, but I'll get back to you just as soon as I can. May God bless you today.